Well, hello, welcome back to Tale 3 Cabins and an RV. I'm putting out a supplemental video today on something I've been hemming and hawing about for several months since we first ordered the RV, and that was how we were going to supply power to it when we're not hooked up to shore power, if we're boondocking, staying on Bureau of Land Management land, etc., and we don't have the option to plug in somewhere. So obviously you can see what I chose overall, but let's get into the process of purchasing this, unpacking it, setting it up, and then I'll go over why I chose this over maybe a smaller generator, what my thinking was for at least our needs anyways. So let's check it out. The best deal I've seen for this generator is at Costco. It was $600. They had a sale going on, $200 off. If you want it delivered or shipped to your home, it's another $50. So either $650 if it's on sale, $850 if it's not on sale. Couple quick features here is it has a 3-year warranty. It runs on gas or propane. Gas, it runs a peak wattage of 4,000 watts and 3,200 running. According to the box, under 25% load, it has a 14-hour run time, either on propane, a full propane tank 20 pounds, or a 1.8 gallon fuel tank. I don't know if this is strictly a Costco thing or not, but it has a bonus cover. And then the many options for output. And one of the reasons I bought this was for using it for an RV. Everything was packaged well. It seemed well protected. Nothing was damaged as I unpacked it and went over everything. It came with everything you need to get this thing up and running. It had the necessary oil. It had some minor tools for taking the case apart to put that oil in. Also an AC adapter if you want to charge the onboard battery inside the generator. And this is the regulator for the propane. One thing I was most concerned about is would I be able to lug this around and get it in and out of my pickup truck. So I can't do it by myself, and most of the time Karen is going to be there to help me to get it in and out. Before starting this, you have to add oil to it. I'm using the included screwdriver to take off the back panel. Just to give you a view what's behind the panel once it's off, of course there's the oil fill, there's a connection for the onboard battery, the oil drain. You can see the carburetor and spark plug area. Round to the side you can see the exhaust port where the muffler is. And then the opposite side, it almost looks like there's a radiator in there, but I'm sure it's more like a heat sink. Attaching the battery is very straightforward. There's only one way that you can connect it. I used the provided funnel and filled it with the full 12 ounces from the container. I don't know what kind of charge the battery has, so while I'm reassembling the case, I'm going to plug in the charger and charge it on AC for a little while I go over the instructions. So just a brief overview of the control area. You have your selector for gas and propane. There is a pull start if the battery is dead or you don't want to use the battery. It does have a CO alarm built into it. The small black switch is for eco mode. The big red switch is the starter switch. Here is the RV connection or 30 amp connection. There are quite a few various ports for DC connections. This DC plug here came with the generator and it has 2 alligator clips which I assume are for charging batteries. Now this isn't grounded when you're using it, so you might have devices that do require a grounded charge, so you can ground this thing if you need to, or purchase a neutral ground plug. You can select 3 display modes on the LED display: the volts, the hertz, and the hours run. Alright, I'm all set up. I got the oil in, put the back panel back on, And let's talk a little bit now why I decided to go with this, and then we'll get it started in a few minutes here. So I was looking for something that was going to power our RV when we didn't have the option to hook up to some sort of shore power. I wanted to be able to run the air conditioner, I wanted to be able to make a cup of coffee, use the microwave. I was hemming and hawing between a smaller unit, and I probably would have gone with a Champion 2500 watt generator, which is smaller, less bulkier. It might be more economical when it comes to fuel consumption also, but I didn't want to do wattage counting. And what I mean by that is that if I was running the air conditioner on the RV, I'd have to put in a soft start, which would be another $300 to purchase one of those, install it, and I would probably risk, if anything were to happen with this air conditioner, and this is fairly brand new RV, it might void the warranty on it also. So I wanted to avoid that issue overall, and that's probably the main reason why I did not go with a smaller generator at this time. Maybe a couple years from now, as the warranty expires on all these things back here, and I get a little bit older where I can't lug this thing around in and out of the pickup truck, the smaller one may become an option. But that was the main purpose, and then I didn't want to count watts. This is going to have the capability to run our RV just like we were plugged into a regular shore power at an RV park. It's got the 30 amp connection. We'll do some testing here shortly, but I should be able to run the air conditioner and run the microwave and not be too concerned about my wattage usage while this is running. So that was the main reason why I purchased this. Price was another option. I've been watching this at Costco now, off and on, and I see it go on sale for $5.99, and then it goes back up to $800. And if you actually go on Firman's website and you look at the retail price that they're asking for this, it's close to $1,250, almost $1,300. Costco has a really good deal on these. They put it on sale a couple weeks ago, and I've been watching it, and I actually waited till the very last day of the sale, and then I was going to go online and order it. And when I went online to order it, they wanted to charge an extra $50. It was $650, and I guess the reason for that is that the $600 price is at a store only. Luckily, our local Costco store did have a bunch in stock. We immediately went down there, picked this up, and brought it home. So $600. If I would have went the other route with the smaller generator, I maybe could have got it for around $550, $500, and then I'd still have to put a soft start on the air conditioner. So I'm up around $800 or $900 for that type of system. So I would say out of the box with nothing in here, no gasoline, it's right around 100 pounds. So I think when I'm lugging it up and out of the pickup truck, I'm not going to fill it up until I have it out of the pickup truck. And if we're going to use it and I somewhat empty it out, probably going to be somewhere around 110 pounds with fuel in it, with gasoline in it. If you're using propane, well then you don't have to worry about that extra 10 pounds. Now the smaller generator I was looking at and this one both uses dual fuel, and I thought that that also would come in handy because we're always carrying propane on the front of the RV. You have the option of having the gasoline also. So it opens up two good options where if we're carrying fuel or propane, it's always a good backup for either this generator or for the RV. All right, so that's enough about my reasonings. Let's get this on the ground so it doesn't fall over or vibrate when I start it up. We'll start it up, hook it up to my RV, and do a little testing. So I'll just go over the starting procedure really quick. You're going to select either you want propane or gasoline. I'm going to go with gasoline, and I'm probably going to run this till I run the gas out, and then I'll try propane in a later test. I just want to test it with the higher wattage right now to see where we're at with the RV. But if you're going to use the battery, you're going to hold this for about 3 seconds. You normally pull out the choke, but we're not going to need it in this instance because I had it running and I forgot to turn the camera on. So we're just kind of repeating exactly what I did here. And then this will be the start. Once it starts, you'll see a CO alert, and that's just probably a self-test. And then it'll come down here and you'll see either the hours, the hertz, or the volts that are on there. And you can select that on the meter. Seems like it does like a little self-diagnostic when it first starts, and then it changes the pitch a little bit, and then you'll see the volts come on here. So right now 124 volts, 60 hertz, 0 hours. I probably have a half hour on it right now. I'm using my surge protector for my RV and I got it all hooked up to the RV. So I'm going to walk over to the back here and I'm going to start up with just a few basic things. First I'm going to turn on our fireplace, which is about a 1,000-watt heater from what I understand. So I'm going to start by heating it up in here because it's still pretty cool inside the RV, and that way I could get the air conditioner to run properly. I'm also going to use my coffee maker here. This is 1,500 watts when it starts heating up the water. I don't know if you could even hear it, but there was really just a slight change of pitch with the generator in the background, with the coffee maker and the fireplace going. I'm going to shut the fireplace off and I'm going to turn the air conditioner on and make another cup of hot water. Alright, the air conditioner is running, the compressor did kick on, and the air conditioner inside is making more noise than the generator is that I can hear from the outside. I'm going to put a second camera on the generator, go back inside the RV, and make that hot cup of water. I mentioned earlier, if you look at the lights on my surge protector, it is showing that it has one open ground. So if you're using this for a specific purpose, say you want to charge your electric car, it's probably not going to charge unless it's grounded. Of course, I took it out of economy mode because I just know that making a cup of coffee and running the air conditioner is going to be taxing to it. I turned on the AC and we have a 15,000 BTU air conditioner in there, just one. That seemed to run just fine. I heard the compressor kick on. I heard this adjust a little bit when it kicked on. I gave it a few minutes just to make sure I had cool air coming out. And then I went and made another cup of coffee, or at least a cup of hot water. It seemed to do just fine. I heard a little bit of adjustment out here. I did some decibel test with just off my phone, off of a NIOSH app. Basically got in the high 50s when I walked about 25 feet away. On the other side of the RV, I got around 50 decibels. Inside the RV, I was around 48 decibels. Now this is not like a fifth wheel or a huge camper. It doesn't have a lot of insulation in it. If we were going to be using this, we would probably use it a little bit away from the far side of where we're going to be sleeping. All in all, it performed very well. I didn't have to count watts. It was doing exactly what I wanted it to do. I'm pretty happy so far. There is a little bit of an odor after running this for about 20-25 minutes. It's almost like a little bit of a burnt rubber odor, but that's probably just like a break-in smell of things burning off. I'm going to give it a couple more tries. I'll keep you posted, and you'll see down the road we'll be using it a few more times here and there. Okay, so I'm not going to test it in propane because I'm pretty sure it's going to work with the air conditioner and the coffee maker. This RV's air conditioner is 15,000 BTUs, and it usually needs around 3,000 startup watts, and once it's up and running, it maintains itself around 1,500 watts. Under gas mode, this has 3,200 watts, and it's a peak of 4,000 watts for startup mode. So that's plenty. And then with propane, it's a little bit less. It is a startup mode of 3,750, and then running is 3,000. Which is still in there. So if I have the air conditioner on and it's 1,500 watts and I turn that coffee maker on, that's another 1,500 watts. That still doesn't put me over the 3,000. I would have to probably do a little wattage mining, but if I'm using the gasoline, I think I'm okay. It's going to give me a little bit of overhead to run some other things inside the RV. So I appreciate everybody watching. Hope you enjoy and subscribe to these videos. Don't forget to keep an eye on us. Hit that subscribe button and the little bell when you want to know when a new video is coming out. And check us out down the road.